That's why I said you're gonna be doing the talking. So go ahead.
Yes,
You'll get to experience it today. God bless you.
we are live. You made that joke. Hi.
Straight from the heart. This is how we do it.
No, but you see, I got shut mouth.
They say you got shut mouth, but I'm still going, right? So now we know the secret is out. Who got shut mouth? I don't.
No, that's
I have open mouth grace.
Oh, God. Yeah, but that's a challenge. I learned that a long time
Well,
ago.
you know, we all know our place.
Amen. Thank the Lord.
But I've learned how to flow.
It said in the overflow. Yeah, in the overflow. Okay. All right.
Can we get this show going?
Yes, we are. We are live.
Are we live?
Yes.
I didn't hear the music. I didn't see the videos. I didn't see anything. We weren't prompted it. So this is really straight from the heart.
We were a little late because of the dialogue.
Dialogue. So we've been having our own show before the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, where is our guest? Where is Stalwart? She normally gives us the cue.
She's probably at Juneteenth. They're probably celebrating somewhere, and she's somewhere enjoying the festivities because they are doing lots of things. I was going to get ready to go get me some hot lamb and some lamb chops, and I called and was trying to place my order, and the people and the man said he was.
They're celebrating Juneteenth.
Yes.
So why are we? We should be celebrating Juneteenth.
Yeah, well, you know, this struggling brother is working. I'm at work and do some things, and then so. I wasn't planning on going, but I had a dinner engagement this evening, not connected to Juneteenth, but to Father's Day. But thank the Lord, we're going to do that and enjoy the festivities and just prepare ourselves for next week because next week is going to be something different. But
yes, Juneteenth,
surprise.
Next week.
Okay. Oh no, I had to keep up with you because I'll be making dates and arrangements and telling me, and if you're telling me when I'm asleep, like today, you said you was here, and I woke up and got up and did something, and you kissed me and changed clothes. I never even seen that. I think I must have been sleepwalking.
Now he's acknowledged he sleepwalks.
I was asleep.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. We are live.
We really are live. Okay. All right. Well, we are. Well, it's the Germany, straight from the heart. This is
Randy.
And this is Pat. And it's straight from the heart. And we are excited to be here today. We know that last week we were at the She event, and
it was amazing.
It was amazing. I'm telling you, Katina Washington is a phenomenal entrepreneur, visionary, just a woman that God is definitely on her side and has blessed her with the anointing to gather people from everywhere.
Yes,
and she had some of everything.
So many vendors were there. It was phenomenal. I was so happy and glad to see how many of us were really reaching. It
was a cultural shift.
Yes, it was.
It was
and
a cultural
today
shift.
It's probably even more so a cultural shift. But then the festivities, they're more festive involved with it, with restaurants and things that are doing things, because most Black-owned restaurants today are somewhere celebrating Juneteenth, and there are several different sites in Indianapolis where they're taking place at Riverside Park, at Pan Am Plaza, and then there's another event, a couple of events at restaurants and hotels and office buildings. So I am really impressed, and I probably would have been somewhere if I had known all that. But I know Juneteenth has been a celebration that people have celebrated for many years, and I think that if you don't know what the significance of it is, then
what is the significance of Juneteenth?
Originally, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves in June 19th, October 1863, but then everybody wasn't free. Everybody wasn't recognized. It's the same as they're doing right now with the Republicans and different ones. They're fighting tooth and nail for voting rights and several other things. And so they wasn't recognized in Texas. And so they sent federal troops down to Texas to enact something. And then they finally recognized it. 2 years later in
Mhm.
1865 and made it the official day that
Federal
that
holiday.
everybody was free. But it wasn't a federal holiday. It wasn't a federal holiday till just the other day. This earlier this week, Joe Biden signed uh, a bill to enact that.
Thank you, President Biden.
Yes, that is a now a federal holiday. So you'll get paid not to go to work, and
I
so.
wonder, does that mean that we get paid?
Oh, I don't know. Your
I wonder
employer may not
if my boss is watching. Are we going to get paid? No, no.
Oh,
He's a great boss, so he'll do right by us, whatever it is.
yes,
So,
and it is officially more so a holiday that's celebrated by the majority of
hmm
the cultural as black majority. But then there are a lot of other people who celebrate the fact that it is that we were free at
hmm
that time. But I think that now it's I think we're transcending because the culture, ethnic diversity, and ethnic inclusion, and the fact that there are they're intertwined. So now it's not uncommon to see
hmm
Asians, Caucasians, different ethnicities married to blacks. So then
Right.
that makes it so diverse. And I predict that maybe possibly in the future, it's probably going to be uh, all. There won't be, let's say, strict like all Caucasian, all black, all anything because it's so mixed now.
It's so mix of
Yes,
diversity, yes,
it's so
and
diverse now.
that's beautiful to see because for so long we have been uh, maybe a little biased when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. We're actually seeing change develop right in front of us, and it's such an it's exciting to be in this era to be able to see Juneteenth come to fruition.
Come to fruition as a federal
As a
holiday.
federal holiday.
But I think that most of you are Afrocentric if you grew up in a family that was real knowledgeable about
hmm
the Juneteenth and about ethnic growth and ethnic uh, customs and different passions that we
hmm
have there. I think that you would be more aware of that. I think I wasn't as aware, growing up that I knew about Juneteenth and that they was being celebrated, but I wasn't I
No.
wasn't participating. hmm So, but I'm eagerly looking forward to this in the future, and
hmm
I hope that it grows and grows and grows, and that we are as I mature, that I'm able to engage and enjoy it uh, a little more. So,
Yeah. And what do you think this means for even the generations to come? Where do you foresee?
I
Uh,
think because it now becomes a federal holiday,
mhm,
that I think they'll get a little bit more recognition as far as, but not just for us as a people, but
mhm,
for other ethnicities that in America and your jobs and different places they'll be
mhm.
more aware of that because I think that a lot of times they see it and so it's kind of just blown off for the most part. But I think that as going forward, I think that because it's becoming recognizable a federal holiday
Okay.
that people have to recognize it and people will be you'll be at work and your your friends of a different color or uh, they'll be talking about, so what is Juneteenth? What does
What
that
is
mean?
Juneteenth?
Yeah, that'll be asking.
You know what? As you were talking, what came to my mind was um, how this holiday that is now an official holiday has brought a liberty to us. I understand that it's a holiday that will be observed by everybody, kind of sort of along the lines of Martin Luther King Day and President's Day, things of the other holidays that are officially
Federal holidays.
federal holidays. So now this will be celebrated as a federal holiday as well. Uh, but I think what stands out in my mind is the significance of this day in particular.
I
When
think this is more significant because at the time when there are still some states who don't recognize
hmm
Juneteenth, So there's still some, I think, Hawaii, Wyoming, uh, Iowa, Idaho. There's a few states, maybe about 6 or 7 states that still do not recognize it. They won't recognize it. But I think that now, because it's become a federal holiday, then they'll have to recognize that part. I don't know, but a lot of places, states legislate their own stuff, so it may not even be recognized going forward. It may be recognized on a federal level from federal employees, but for state employees and for other employees of businesses in those states, they may not recognize it.
What can I ask you this? What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom. I've always been free. I've been free. I was born free.
You was born free. You better say that.
But I mean, so I think that uh, we have different connotations on freedom as what it means to different individuals. I think I've been free. My mind's been free. I think that I was even free, even more so in these latter years, as opposed to, because I think with knowledge becomes more power,
yes,
and more freedom,
yes,
to do and to understand what the world means and what relationships and stuff mean. So I think that just is something that just happens. I think that free to, as far as Juneteenth is concerned, is that we were allowed, we were supposed to be free in 1863. Then 1865 we made it an official freedom, and then going forward, but there have laws been enacted that kept us bound, regardless. And so even because like, unbeknownst to some people, that prisons and some of these things, they were enacted to enslave. Yeah, so
yes,
that was the object. But I think that because of the debacle in Oklahoma some years ago, where they actually bombed the black community, and they killed thousands of black people. I think because of the recognition of that here just recently, and the resurgence of a conversation about it, and how they went back and they found all these other bodies, and they just want some reparations for what happened. I think
that has a lot to do with,
I think that put a spotlight on Juneteenth. So I think that had a lot to do with what, because when there was a resurgence of activity and conversation about that, then Juneteenth became even more of a volatile situation. I think that President Biden enacted that to kind of give some credence and recognition to the fact that we haven't always been recognized and we haven't always been treated equally. So I think that was something to.
Would you say it's along the lines of, sometimes in order there had to be a problem, sometimes a problem has to be created in order to solve another problem?
I think the problem has to be not created but recognized. I think you have to recognize that it was a problem, that it is an issue, and that going forward, because we're not because we are free, but have we actually really been free? Free to do the same thing and have the same rights and freedoms that everyone else has. I think that we haven't. That's not always recognized as something that, because some people can do some things that we cannot do, and sometimes they get a pass on things that we don't get a pass on. Sometimes driving, we just can't get a pass on driving because you can't drive while you're black in some places, because that seems to be a problem. They wonder, why are you here? What are you going? What are you doing?
Yes, you don't belong on this side of town.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yes, but you know what?
We are everywhere.
Yes, and I think it evolves into us understanding our place and what has been created for us. Martin Luther King, his life was taken to, I believe there's the freedom that we need for, as far as going to schools and being able to drink out of the same water fountain and things like that. When as we were growing up in school, we hear a lot about Black history, and then just in my years that I've been here on earth, to experience and hear so many stories of the Martin Luther King era.
You didn't get much of that.
I didn't get much. I got enough. Yeah. I got enough to know that I'm free.
Yeah.
And that I have rights.
Yeah, I think
so. And he who the Son sets free is free indeed. So don't make me preach on here now. But but I do think that it's it's also a time of observation. You know, I know we're talking about Juneteenth and how this day has been proclamated as an official federal holiday. Uh, I always try to bring things into a relevancy of where we're at today. You know, what does it mean to really be free? You know, so many people have allowed themselves to be held hostage and not moving forward in their dreams, their goals, their visions. And so what has happened, they have remained stuck. And so when we see days like this that have come to fruition and certain uh, events have led up to help offset it so that it comes to fruition, but then God always needs a man to come along and help enact it, you know. And so President Biden was that man that got used as a vehicle to bring this holiday into a federal officially announced holiday now. And so some were going to get paid, you know, have days off for that. Some may not, but the overall what we want to look at it is that it happened for us and we're able to experience it. And so when I think about that, I think about us as a people, how we have not taken time out a lot of times and we're still bound, you know. And even when we have holidays like this of for instance, but there's still a level where self-care is not being you know, addressed, or just not pursuing our goals, or not even thinking long term. Where do I see myself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now? And so we're still stuck. You know, we can have holidays come, but I guess I'm always thinking about mentally. I have a free day, but am I really free? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, you know, yes, this is great that this holiday has been officially observed. So I'm asking you, do you think that some people are still in their mind, still back there during the Oklahoma,
I don't, I
dealing
don't
with
think
that
I don't think it's so
and
much that
still
because I think
experiencing that boundness?
I don't think so. I think that this is and it's a holiday that's recognized by the federal government.
Hmm.
But I think that for as long as I can remember as a youth, it's always been a day that was celebrated by uh, certain family. I remember certain families growing up that there were certain people who were really uh, culturally aware and were, I just use this word Afrocentric, that were really that celebrated Juneteenth. To them, it's to some people I know that grew up with it. It was always a holiday.
Hmm.
It was, it just was
They've already
celebrated.
celebrated,
They've
so now it's
always
just been
always
officially
been.
observed.
It's just been officially observed. They was always having barbecues, cookouts, and stuff. And I remember that I was
I
hearing
don't
them.
know why I have not heard of Juneteenth. So, you know, just
Um,
like myself, I'm sure there are others that are like, okay, what is this Juneteenth all
and
about?
probably because of my how I came up and
Okay,
the circumstances that I was involved in caused me to be more aware than maybe some
some
people because
others.
being incarcerated at different times, that those things, Afrocentric uh, things, just really, that's something that we concentrate on because as a people, we have to sit together in those situations. So when you're in that situation, then you find
Then you're
yourself
going to be more in tune with
exactly.
things like
And
that. I
so in a
understand.
lot of the conversations, around Juneteenth, because like uh, I would see some people who weren't even aware. They don't know what Juneteenth means. Never heard of
Like me.
Juneteenth. Yeah, but I've been hearing about it since I was a kid. So and I know people who celebrated who had and would have barbecues on Juneteenth. Like
Okay.
it's like just like you have, like we have July the Fourth and
July
different
4th,
holidays.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and say out of 100 people, 10 people, 10, 15, 20 people I knew actually were celebrating Juneteenth.
Okay. Well, you
So
know, so since it has officially been observed as a holiday, and how ironic it's right there close to Father's Day. Isn't that
yeah.
something? Close to
Oh
Father's Day.
wow.
So that means the mothers, The women. We need a holiday right before us.
Oh Jesus! No, y'all got more holidays. Y'all recognize more so, and then you know, like, you know, if I think that
we need
I think there's a survey that reflects the
May
fact
10th,
that
Mother's Day.
That Mother's Day is celebrated.
Regina's laughing at me because I say May 10th because it's in May. Mother's Day's in May. Father's Day's in June. Juneteenth.
Father's Day is not nearly as recognized.
You don't think so? Well, I've heard that all down through the years.
It ain't if I think so.
That fathers don't get recognized like mothers.
There are surveys to show that it is not recognized.
It's not recognized.
Not like Mother's Day.
Well, why do you think that is? No,
I think fathers get.
I celebrate my dad. My dad will be 80, and I just think he's a phenomenal man.
It's an individual thing. I think collectively that fathers get a lot of times get a bad rap, and culturally I think that because for a lot of us, there's more baby mamas and there are less
baby daddies.
There are a lot of baby daddies, but I said there's not as many.
Maybe the baby daddies that made the baby mamas mad.
No, it's the fact that it's not two-parent
homes. Okay.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with it than anything.
But we got some rough baby daddies now though. But that's another show for another time.
It is.
It really is. But nevertheless, but I will say this: we have some phenomenal black men. And you're one of them.
Thank you.
We have some great black men that have transcended and overcame and endured and are still standing and have given the devil a black eye. And I can say to you that you are one of those men that I have watched you from a little girl. From a young teenager, young lady, I've watched you.
From a little girl.
I mean, think about it. Do you all know next? Well, not next. It is June 22nd. We will be married 38 years. I feel like Oprah. I've been married all my life. I've had to fight. No. No, I have not. But I just thought that was good. But no, it's been a great 38 years. As with anything, there's going to be ups and downs, and life brings you all different kind of situations. But me, what I say, when life brings you lemons, make lemonade. It's what you do with what you have, and so I can say that it's been all good. We're still here. We've survived it. And we got many, many stories. So listen for the book.
All right.
It's going to be a book. But nevertheless, I just wanted to jump on. We're getting ready to take this great man to dinner. The children, our young adults, have planned an evening for him. And so, because we have church tomorrow. And so we're going to go and celebrate our hero right here today. And those of you that have fathers that are still here in the land of the living, call them, encourage them, love on them while you have them. The Bible says to honor thy mother and father all the days of your life, that your days may be long on earth. And so it did not say if they were good, if they were the best fathers, or if they gave you things on a silver platter, but it said honor them. And so wherever you are, if you have a dad, call your daddy, tell him you love him. Call your papa. Call. I still call my daddy daddy. We used to call him dadass. So I said, I'll be 60. I think I better graduate from the dadass. But nevertheless, if you have men in your life, your significant other,
if you know
call them up, and a man that you has
recognized,
downloaded in you and added value to your life, love on them. And it is what it is. So it's Juneteenth Day. Celebrate. We are free. We're free. We have officially been observed. You've been free, but some have not been. No. Some don't recognize it. So for those that now recognize what Juneteenth is, go out and celebrate. Kick your heels up. Do whatever you do. We have been freed officially. And so until next week, God bless you. We love you straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart.
And we'll see you next week. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Gotta want your heart surgery. Gotta need your heart, so I can be what you're coming to be. I wanna talk like you, I wanna walk like you, I even wanna act